How's it going, everybody? Today we are going to be customizing this Funko Five Nights at Freddy's 10th Anniversary Bonnie Pop Vinyl into Spring Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, obviously, we are going to be combining a couple of different designs. We're going to take his FNAF World design, as well as Springtrap's design, as well as the Into the Pit design, to go off and form what I would just call the, retro Bonnie, or just Spring Bonnie in general. We're going to take the FNAF movie base of Bonnie, or Spring Bonnie that is, and go off and customize him to hopefully resemble what a non-withered Spring Bonnie would look like. So let's go ahead and get started by opening this guy up. Now, I picked these up at GameStop in Missouri down here. These guys were supposed to come out in March, from what I know of, but they've been popping up in stores nationwide. So that is pretty sick. Pretty nice little box here, by the way. I really like the simplicity of these older box styles. We're going to go ahead and set that aside for now. And here we have Bonnie's case. Now, I am glad that they use a lot of plastic. However, it feels like a bit of a waste sometimes. However, he does. Let's see, does he have a rotating head? He does not. That kind of sucks. I really miss whenever Funko used to do, you know, the little bits of articulation that they used to have. But we do get this really sweet vinyl, like, logo for the 10th anniversary, which I think is amazing. I'm so happy that they did that. And let's just take a look at this guy out of the box here. You can see 2024 Scott Cawthon on his feet there. This guy is pretty hefty. He's doesn't feel like he's nearly as hollow as most Funko products. But yeah, so we got a lot of different stuff. So just as a quick warning to all of you who do not want to watch this little dude be dismembered, because in order to ensure that I get him completely painted and in a fairly decent way, I'm going to actually be popping his ears off and out of socket. First, I'm going to remove him from his base, which attaches to his foot in just a little stud here. And then secondly, I'm going to just do this number. 1. Fairly strong glue. For all of you who want to buy these little guys and play with them. Then that's... Oh my goodness, I'm two-handing on this sucker. Let's see here. This one is really in there. Oh my goodness, I think I'm about to pop his head off. Let's see here. Yeah, Bonnie's head was going to come off before his ear was. Alright, let's see here. Yep, there goes his head. So that's what his body looks like without his head. Might be a good thing that I popped his head off. Okay. There we go. So now we got this little dude. He kind of looks like his little head from the FNAF 3 minigame. So now that we have the ears, body, and whatnot all separated, if I could, I would remove his guitar, but I think that might be a little much, but we will see. Maybe we'll need to. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, I'll go off and see you guys when we start painting. Alrighty, everybody. So now we have completely ripped off one of his arms, which makes it actually a lot easier to go off and access it. Also, we could probably go off and do something a little special for his pose, which that would be greatly interesting. So let's go ahead and get this started and get this going, and we can go off and start painting this guy. Bwom. So what I'll go off and do is I'll go ahead and finish a part, probably finish the undercoat of his body and then continue recording, and then come back and then do it, you know, stop recording, do it again, stop recording, that kind of thing. So I will see you guys when I have this completely painted. Alrighty, everybody. So this is what we're looking like right now. Here we have the body and torso. I tried to miss as much of the guitar as humanly possible. Obviously, I'm just working with a standard paintbrush and whatnot. Obviously, I'm going to need to go off and layer some of this stuff up a little bit. You can see a little bit where I went off and nicked the guitar, just a touch there. And yeah, I tried to get his knuckles as best as possible. You can see the bottom of the guitar is a little messy. And obviously, I haven't put the orange, Tuscan orange paint on the bottom of the feet yet, or else it would just be kind of getting everywhere. So there is the body. Now we have both of his ears. I just did one side of his very flat ear here. Obviously you can see there. But yeah, I'm going to go off and put the paint for the joints back on. Probably after I finish off all the detailing and whatnot. And right before I seal them, I'll go off and hit them up with some gray and then some silver just over it, so that way it's got an actual like animatronic shine to it. And then here we have Bonnie's head, or Spring Bonnie's head. Obviously this paint is probably the wettest of them all. So here's that, and here's the back of the head. It's very liquidy up under here for some reason, more than all the others. So I'm just going to go off and set this back where I had it on a tissue paper. And then we have, let's see, his bent ear. I did the front and back of this one. Obviously I'm going to need to go off and touch up these as well. And then I went ahead and got his arm. This one looks like he's doing some sort of like little finger gun motion. It's kind of funny, kind of cute. But obviously, you know, he's supposed to be holding his guitar. So yeah, that's what we're looking like right now. And I will catch you guys as soon as this paint dries and after I put on a second coat. Bye-bye. Alrighty, everybody. So not too much of a crazy change here. All I did was go off and throw on a second layer of yellow here. And I kind of went off and was using a bit more of a rougher paintbrush, so that way I can go through and use a little bit of orange paint mixed in with some water, so that way I can go off and kind of wither him a little bit. I think that's what I want to do for him and Fredbear, who I'm going to be making alongside Spring Bonnie. So if you guys want to see that happen, just let me know down in the comments below. So that is his body. His head, once again, is still just kind of wetter than the rest of him for some reason. I don't know if it's because it's like a sloped angle or what the deal is, but once again, it's mostly just his upper head and his bottom jaw there. Other than that, not too crazy much to see here. I went ahead and did the other side of his straight ear. You can see that's a really roughed up paint. But yeah, I think it'll go off and help it look like kind of stick out a little bit. I kind of want these guys to feel like they are some sort of like chase figures, like they're actually, you know, part of the crew. They're just kind of, you know, one-off figures. I know it didn't really focus on that hand there or that arm, but I hope that you guys can understand that I'm kind of working with what I got here. So yeah, there's the ear, and yeah, so next thing I got to do is go off and paint the rest of the head and hope that it will finally go off and dry at least a little bit better than what it's doing now. There's a little bit of a better look at the head there. I'm not sure. I'm not putting like too much paint or anything on there, but it's just kind of staying wet for longer, and it's kind of irritating, but you know, I'm sure we can go off and figure it out. Anyway, see you guys here in a little bit. And so here's what we have, a little bit more of a detailed look at what our, I believe, left ear and right arm are going to look like on our Spring Bonnie pop vinyl here. Went ahead and gave him the paw pads in brown, and I went off and added a little bit of extra withering to both the ear as well as the arm there. You can kind of see that I put a little bit of an orange wash over him to kind of give him a little bit of a beat up or fuzzy appearance, as well as a slight bit of black wash on the arm there just to kind of give it a little bit of a stained look, and they're drying on a receipt paper. Awesome. Alright everyone, so now that we have allowed our paint to dry a little bit, I've added a couple of accessory paint to our Spring Bonnie head here. I have his nose painted brown, simply because I've always seen like Springtrap's nose is brown. I would just assume that Spring Bonnie's nose was brown as well. I went ahead and pulled his other arm off. I went ahead and painted his bow tie. I tried to put a button there, and I went off and put a couple of lines running down the sides of his armpits, like his suit armpits. Once again, added fingertips over his paw pads there. And yeah, went off and painted his other arm yellow as well. And then the insides of his ear, I went ahead and added the brown pads there. And I think it all came together pretty well. It's got a little bit of a withering look to it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and glue this guy together. Alright guys, so I've went ahead and put Spring Bonnie all back together. We still have to go off and get his teeth, and we're going to go off and probably touch up the bottoms of his feet, maybe add a little bit of an orange color to his kneecaps to kind of go off and differentiate them from his legs. Went ahead and painted his joints black there. He's got eyes and eyelids now. And yeah, that's kind of how it turned out. A little bit of a mess job underneath the neck with the glue. It really took a lot to go off and get him to stay together. And yeah, if you guys want to see more customs, then I'm going to be releasing a video on Fredbear later, so that's exciting. Alrighty everybody, we have finally finished our Spring Bonnie Funko Pop. I've been working on this guy for about 6 hours, mostly just sitting around waiting for the glue and whatnot and the paint to dry. As you guys can see here, I gave him emerald green eyes, a little bit darker of an darker of a color. A little sloppy paintwork on the teeth, I'm not going to lie to you guys. As you can see there, a little bit of a gap. But yeah, I think he looks pretty good. I'm pretty proud of how he turned out. Definitely could have been a lot worse. I'll probably go back here and there and do some different little bits of making sure the paint's going to go off and last. But if you guys want to see me make Fredbear here, go off and feel free to check that video out. Anyway, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out and bye-bye!